Hi everybody, I'm here with my Week 16 NFL picks. I took a week off from picking NFL games last week, and I instead put out a college football bracket video. So if you haven't seen that, feel free to check it out. I hope you will. As I say in the video, I'm not a huge follower of college football, but I do enjoy the tournament, and I think they should be some pretty good games, especially, the quarterfinal games that'll happen over that New Year's Eve stretch. So, looking forward to that, and I think this week will likely be my last week of NFL picks for the regular season. I think with the holidays, I just won't be able to make a video for week 17, and then week 18, as I always say, is just a weird week to bet. So many teams aren't playing for anything anymore. They put their second stringers in. It almost resembles a preseason game. So I tend to lay off that week, but we'll see. Maybe if I have a real good week 16 and something strikes me, I'll change my mind and throw together a video. But decent chance I will take a couple weeks off and look ahead to the playoffs after this week. But I'm hoping to go out with a profitable regular season week and rally from a couple of not so great weeks and a couple of futures bets that took a turn for the worse. So I'll jump right in to those picks. I like 2 favorites on the spread this week and 1 anytime touchdown scorer for one of the primetime games. I won't say which one yet. My first bet is the Vikings at -3 at the Giants. 2 rookie quarterbacks facing off. J.J. McCarthy and Jackson Dart. Both teams have been eliminated from the playoffs. So this might be sort of a tough game to gauge motivation on. Both teams are booking their trips to Cancun, as they say. Nothing really more to prove or try to salvage. But I think the one edge I give the Vikings is coaching. I think Kevin O'Connell is a much better coach. The Giants are on an interim head coach at this point, so I think O'Connell is still capable of rallying his guys to go out and play a good game. And I think JJ, he's looked shaky overall this year. He's had a couple of bad games, but the last couple of weeks he's actually looked like he's maybe sort of figuring it out. And I just think overall that Vikings team is built better than the Giants, and all other things being equal, I like them to pull out a win by 3 points. So that's my first bet. And my next 3-point favorite is in a game between 2 teams that are very much still in contention, that are fighting for their division, and it's the Buccaneers over the Panthers. The Buccaneers have been on a bit of a skid over the last few weeks. They recently got Bucky Irving back, which should theoretically be a nice advantage for them that they didn't have for a big stretch of the season, but it hasn't really proven to help them so far. Carolina has been one of the surprises of this year. I think a lot of people wrote off Bryce Young and thought that they would be near the bottom of the league, but they are hanging in there, and in kind of a weak division, they have a good chance to win, and this week will really be their opportunity to stake their claim as the leaders of the division. I just think the Buccaneers are the better team. They have more weapons. They have more experience. Baker Mayfield has sort of been in these big games before. And I think, whereas Carolina has done okay the last couple of weeks, I think they might have lost last week. But, they've been holding steady. The Buccaneers have, like I said, been on a skid. And I think they're going to come into this game with something to prove. And they're going to play with a level of desperation. And they're going to be able to go into Carolina and squeak out a 3-point win. Or hopefully more than 3 points to cover the spread instead of just get a push. But I think they're going to have no trouble going in and winning by a possession. So hopefully that's at least 4 points. And I'm going to go with it. 1 unit on both of those bets. And then my anytime touchdown scorer is for the Patriots-Ravens game. And I like Patriots receiver Kayshon Boutte to get a touchdown at plus 320. And I am just going to do a half unit on this, so pays off a little over a unit and a half if it hits. Boutte has been one of May's favorite targets throughout the year. He only had 1 catch last week, which to me says he's due to have a more impactful game. They're going to make more of an effort to feed him this week. And I think the Patriots as a whole are another one of those teams that will be playing with a little bit of desperation. They blew a 21-point lead versus the Bills last week. They are still in the driver's seat to win the division. And they are, I think even if they lose this game, they can win their last 2 games of the season, and they will win the division regardless of what the Bills do. But this is still an important game, I think, for their momentum. You have a lot of people starting to question if they're a little fraudulent after blowing that lead, if they've just been a product of an easy schedule. And I think going out and at least playing the Ravens tough and close will be something they're going to really try to do, even more than, NFL teams always go out and try to win. But I think they'll be playing with an extra level of desperation, especially on offense, to try and make up for their lackluster second half where they couldn't keep up with Josh Allen. So all this to say, I think it'll lead to opportunities for Boutte, and I like these odds for him to get a touchdown. So those are my bets for Week 16. Feel free, as always, to comment and let me know what you think. Thank you to everyone who has watched, listened, liked, and subscribed. And one way or another, you'll hear from me soon. Take care, and a very Merry Christmas to everybody. Bye-bye.